What's up, y'all? Let's have a conversation. So, there was a video I was supposed to upload, and I said probably 2 weeks ago I was going to wait for some time to pass by before I actually uploaded it. I guess I accidentally deleted it off my phone. So I kind of got to do it again. But I'm okay with that. Here's the thing. The title for that video was going to be BI and Zion lowering the ceiling of the Pelicans. Here's the thing. Zion and BI are great players. I think probably easily top 30. Because I don't think I can name too many other players I'd want to have than those guys. No disrespect. This is not a disrespectful video. It's not my intent to disrespect anybody on the Pelicans with this in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Nor is this me trying to say that they suck. However, I will say that a certain aspect of their games suck. See, the Pelicans tonight will be playing the Utah Jazz. Utah has one of the best offenses, especially three-point shooting. They've been on a tear. Defensively, they're one of the best teams in the league, spearheaded by Rudy Gobert. Now, I have this personal belief. This is just me. I don't think you can win long term, and what I mean by long term is by having championship level aspirations when two people in your starting lineup, because they're going to play the bulk of the minutes, can't play defense. I might go a step further and say including your sixth man too. But your sixth man don't necessarily have to play 30 minutes. He can, depending on situation, what's going on, but I don't necessarily believe that. So, Zion and BI's defense is both terrible. I don't think I need to dig into that. Anyone who has watched the Pelicans with any length of time knows that the Pelicans defense is suspect as fuck. Part of that is because the two players that require the most on offense or require the most touches suck on defense. And let me just go over a couple things with you guys, right? Of the starters, I would say Zoe is clearly the best. Steven Adams next. Then I would say Bledsoe. Bledsoe, I think, is either average or above average. Then those two, and there's a drop-off. There's certain matchups where they both tend to play very, very well. And I'm not going to go deep into that stuff in this video. But here's the problem. Zion is giving you 26. BI is giving you 24. Which is 50 points. 50 points of the Pelicans' 100-plus points a game. I think they have like a 115-odd rating, or that's what they get per game, is 115. So that means 65 of the other points is accounted for by the rest of the starters on the bench. I would much rather BI or Zion come down like 3 or 4 points on their offense and give us stellar defense. I don't want all the excess, okay? I don't need all the excess on the court. I would rather you lose 3 to 4 points on offense and keep someone on the other team out 7 points. That's a, depending on how you look at it, 3 to 4 point swing. Guess how many points they lost to San Antonio by? 3 points. If I could get one of those guys to play defense, this team would be far better than what they are. Again, this is not a hate video because I indeed like Zion. I think he has a bright future. He's going to be the second coming of Shaquille O'Neal in the sense of how dominant he is. Um, Brandon Ingram, I think he has a bright future. He's going to be one of the best scorers. Um, I think I might liken him more to Paul George than a KD at this point. But I don't think anything ill of the guy. Great guy, great player. But we got to keep it 100, man. When your two best players, your two leaders, are giving it up on defense, it makes the whole team look bad. Now, let's be honest. There's times when Lonzo, Bled, Josh Hart, Adams, people make boneheaded decisions on defense. I get it. They all have deficiencies. But these guys' defensive woes, I think, triumph a lot more than the other. If they could just get their act together defensively, it would help a lot. Plus, here's the other part of this, too. If you're in a close game and your defense is already sucky, it's much more easy for you to play off of your defense and say, fuck it, I'm going to slack on the defense. I just got to go down there and get their points. So, if you're lacking on D, you lack more on D to conserve the offensive energy so that you could go get it done on the offensive end. That means you switch every single thing, even the stuff you don't need to switch, so that you can, save energy for offense. LeBron does this. LeBron also takes the weakest guy on the court and will camp in a corner with the weakest guy and only defend him when he has the ball in his hands. He'll make team plays, but that's it. It's not a recipe for success long term. You might be like, well, he got AD. He played much better defense with AD. AD held his ass accountable. Him and Frank Vogel. And Kidd and the rest of those guys on that staff. He's an older player. He's a vet too, so he also knows how to pick his spots. You're a young guy coming into the league. B.I. just got his contract, yada, yada, yada. Zion is trying to make his foothold in the league. Look, you have to play defense. You have to. You cannot leave it up to chance. You have to play defense. To a lesser extent, Josh Hart and some of these other guys, they overhelp entirely too much. Entirely fucking too much. Which is why the best defense they played was when they played the Celtics. That was the best defense they played as a unit. When you got Hart and Zoe and B.I. and Zion and Melly, and they were all switching appropriately, and they didn't do too much overhelping. They hedged and trapped when necessary and recovered. It was the best defense they had played all year. And they played it in a playoff level situation. And yes, that was playoff level basketball. Let's be frank. They played playoff level basketball and even had to go to OT to get that victory. And it took everything they had. Every fucking thing they had to get that victory. Because Tatum and Brown were not giving them any slack, not cutting them a break. If you want this, you got to come take it. If the defense had been what it was against San Antonio late in the game, well, not really late, just throughout the entire fucking game, or some of these other teams, wouldn't have mattered. We could also say, oh, well, the free throws and stuff too, which I agree. Hell, I'm spearheading that. Y'all aren't hearing that really from anybody else but me. I'm the one talking about this shit early. All that stuff, it matters. But also, too, a lot of the situations we put ourselves in is because of the defense. Matter of fact, let me go ahead. I forget to read this shit. I don't want any more interruptions. It's my Facebook and shit going on. But, matter of fact, let me get this lighting out of here. There we go. Actually, no, lighting is still... Yeah, that's better. But yeah, it's ridiculous, man. We shouldn't be seeing this shit. This should be common practice now. Bi knows better. He's been in the league. You know, Zoe, even though he plays the best defense, he still has his gaps and his holes. Like, he got to get better about fighting over them screens. He got to get better about fighting over those screens. And to another point with Zoe and some of these other guys, Zoe does this the least, but I got to get on Zoe. You can't be the best defender and make this mistake. Know your fucking personnel. Shout outs to AD, Antonio Daniels. Like, know who you're going up against. If a guy's a 23% three-point shooter, why the fuck are we closing out? Fuck him. Box out. Invite that nigga to take that three. If he makes it, but don't sit there and play defense on a guy that can't shoot. Play defense the right way, the smart way. Back off and make him take the shot. If you want to come in and get this ball, we got position. You know, go ahead and shoot that shot. We dare you. The same way they played Zoe when Zoe came in and his shot wasn't working, go ahead and shoot. Come in if you want to. We got something for you. That's another thing. I'd like to see the Pelicans a lot more tough up front on defense. I'd like to see them be more physical. I don't like this. I think they play too much finesse. They need to get in their ass. Get off in their motherfucking ass. But Zoe ain't like that. He ain't built that way. Josh Hart, he tough, but he ain't built that way. He ain't getting off in him. Marcus Smart to get off in your ass. Pat Bev to get off in your ass. They don't give a fuck. Marcus Smart a lot less so though now because he can shoot, do other things. But Pat Bev like, look, if I don't get in your ass, I ain't getting paid. But you got Bi and Zion who won't get in anybody's ass. Like, it don't make no sense. Are we trying to win games or not? I get it. You know, you got to do so much more on the offensive end. Again, I'd much rather you come down on the offense. Bi's averaging 24 and Zion's averaging 26. So if you went down to, say, 21 or 20 or 22, 23 points, I'm okay with that if your defense is popping. I'm okay with that. This team, especially if you're going to run. See, here's the other part, and I've said this too. The optimal way to run Lonzo's style of ball is to have one of the best defenses in the league. Period. You need to get the turnovers. You need to force misses because when you force misses, you get what? You get out in transition. If you get out in transition, you get a ball to Zoe, and you're gonna make plays happen. If you get out in transition with Zion, guess what? Now you got to defend Zion with the ball, which means you're probably gonna have to foul him, and he's finna get to the line and one. You get out in transition, I can beat you anywhere on the court. It don't matter. You get out in transition, Josh Hart can attack the rim with just the best of them on the team. You get out in transition, Bledsoe is smart enough to finish at the rim. You're gonna get your offense. You're gonna get in a rhythm. You're going to take the opposing team out of their rhythm, which is going to help. It starts with defense. You can't be a poor defensive team and try to run. You just can't. Schneer's like, well, they ran last year. Of course they ran last year. You put the ball in Lonzo's hands. He's trying to get up the court within, by the time it's, say, 22 seconds, which gives you the optimum amount of time to attack. One of the observations I made last season was they took too long to get into their half-court offense. They're at 15 to 14 seconds, and they're running plays now. You got time for 1, 2 progressions, not enough time to reset. So you got 1, 2, okay, at that time you got to make a play. Somebody got to make the play. They still take a little too long for my liking. If I'm playing basketball, look, I need y'all to be down the court 20 seconds, maybe 19 at worst. I run the play. If you don't get the play, you got about another 9 to 10 seconds to try to get one more crack at a play. If you can't get it in, now you can go do your ISO. But you need to get down the court, establish yourself, and get into attack position. Even if they recover in transition and they take away the transition, you can put them in a scramble situation, which means their defense is not set, which is good for everybody on this team. We can't say Lonzo is a weak link on free throws anymore. We can't. There's no excuse now. There's no excuse. And that's another thing. When it comes to that defense, it's going to put you on the line. Back to my point about free throws. I don't want to see people missing these goddamn free throws. No reason this team should be hitting like 80, 82% free throws every night. You ain't got to be 90. It'd be great if you were 90. But you don't need to be low 70s or the 60s. You don't need to be missing 6, 7 free throws a game. And I get it. Zion's a big, you got Steven Adams out there and all this other stuff. Look, I want to hear that shit. You got Lonzo fucking Ball making 76% of his free throws. I'm going to tell y'all right fucking now. Zion is the only somebody I'm willing to cut a tiny bit of slack on the free throws compared to Lonzo. But if your free throw percentage is below Lonzo's, you got a problem. You got a damn sure problem. Because if Lonzo in his 4th year has become a competent free throw shooter, there is no reason, if you have been in the league as long as him or longer than him, why your free throw percentage should be lower than his. Time out for that shit. He couldn't hit but 50, 60%, 58, 60% last year. He is knocking down his free throws. Bledsoe, y'all damn near need to be perfect on the line. I'm just being honest. That's not reasonable. Fuck that shit. Because all it's going to take is Lonzo in another month of good play and good free throw shooting. Lonzo going to be an 80% free throw shooter. Oh, I'm going to act the ass if motherfuckers can't hit 80% of their free throws then. He right there. He had like 76, 77%. All he needs is a couple more shots, knock him down. He going to be at 80%. Oh, Lord, have fury if you motherfuckers start missing free throws. And he hitting 80. Oh, what did Gentry say last year in the bubble? There's no reason why you shouldn't be going 5 times a game. 5 times a game, you should be shooting 80% for free throw. He may not be going 5, but the motherfucker is coming. Another thing, speaking of free throws, you missing free throws, guess what? Get the ball. If somebody's already leaked out, easy buckets. Defense. Put yourself in the best position to win the game. Period. Play your defense. Take smart shots. Take smart shots. At worst case scenario, if you somewhere like a Josh Hart who don't really have the handles and other stuff, man, attack the basket. Attack the basket. Give yourself a chance. Somebody start leaking back on defense to cover. Even if he can't. If he attacks the rim and it gets blocked and they can't get the rebound, somebody need to already be back on defense. Maybe somebody else with them to make sure we don't give up anything in transition. Period. Go ahead and start leaking out. If we get a rebound back, we come on back down. Come on back down. It's okay. But goddamn it, there's no reason for this shit. And I get it. People gonna say, well, Stan's scheme is the... Well, I don't want to hear that shit, all right? I get Stan's scheme. I get it. At the same time, Stan's scheme has some holes in it, in my view. But at the same time, like he said, some of this is on the players. Some of this is on the players. Some of this is on them. Now, I think personnel has a great deal to do with this, too. And I'm going to stick by that. That's the hill I'm going to die on. But goddamn it, man. Communicate. And don't communicate the switch just because you being lazy. Get out there and play your fucking defense. That's part of the problem. Motherfuckers don't want to play defense, so they so quick to switch. Oh, okay, I don't have to go chase him out there. Here, switch. Eric Bledsoe. That shit still bothers me like several games later that Zoe tried to get that man to go out there and set a pick and he didn't want to go do that shit, so Zoe had to do it at the last minute. That's some bullshit. I don't even know how you want to play with a guy like that. Bro, we trying to win the game. You don't want to go set the pick? Unbelievable. That's all I got, man. They better play some goddamn defense tonight. They better hope the holy hell they play some defense. So I'm gonna have a fucking terrorizing rant. Y'all not gonna like me tonight. Let me find out they ain't play no defense in this game. I'm coming for everybody. My video might get removed. I'm just warning y'all. Y'all have a good one. Fuck that shit. Play some goddamn defense. Shit.